The Palestinian militant group Islamic Jihad has released a video footage of Israeli hostage Arbel Yehoud, who is to be released on Thursday.
קוראים לי ארבל יהוד, תעודת זהות שלי 315-369-132. אני מקיבוץ ניר עוז, נולדתי ב-21 לשישי.
Now, in this 1 minute long video, Yehud states her identity and says the date is the 25th of January, which means that the video could have been filmed on Saturday. Yehud also reassures her family that she's doing fine and has said that she hopes to return home soon like the other girls. In the video further, she's called on the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu to do everything in his power to secure the release of the remaining hostages in the Gaza Strip. Now, Arbel Yehoud was supposed to be released last Saturday, but Hamas instead has released 4 IDF surveillance soldiers. Now, Israel blocked the return of Palestinians to northern Gaza. Later, Israel announced that the dispute had been resolved and that Hamas is set to release 6 hostages in 2 batches this week, including Yehud and also the last remaining surveillance soldier, Agam Berger. The Israeli government spokesperson David Mencer said that 8 of the hostages due for release in the first phase of a truce deal between Israel and Hamas are actually dead.
I can confirm that Israel has received from the Hamas terrorist organization, a list that includes the status of all of the 33 hostages due to be released in this first stage. The list from Hamas matches Israel's intelligence. So I can share with you that 25 of our hostages are alive and 8 have been killed by Hamas.
And the devastated Gaza Strip, tens of thousands of Palestinians were slowly seen returning back to their devastated homes in the north after Israel and Hamas, remember, had reached a deal for the release of 6 more hostages. A sea of people, estimated to be almost about 1 million people, moved through the dismantled Israeli Netzarim corridor into the north. But they were constantly watched over by the Israeli tanks. Now, Hamas authorities said that about 300,000 displaced Palestinians had managed to return during the day, in a single day, to the northern part of the Gaza Strip, despite the level of devastation wreaked in the northern part of the Gaza Strip by the Israelis. Now, the American President Donald Trump on Monday reiterated his desire to move the Palestinians from the Gaza Strip to safer locations such as Egypt or Jordan. Now, Donald Trump said that he would like to get them living in an area where they can live without disruption and revolution or violence. When pressed on what that would mean for a 2-state solution, Donald Trump said that the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu would soon be visiting Washington to meet with him. And according to U.S. officials, the Israeli leader is hoping to meet with Donald Trump in Washington as early as next week. Now, Trump had floated the idea of cleaning out Gaza as he had described on Saturday, though the idea was swiftly rejected by both Egypt and Jordan, which happened to be very close allies of the Americans. Following which, the American Secretary of State under Trump, Marco Rubio, held a call with Jordan's King Abdullah II. The State Department said that the Secretary and the King discussed the implementation of the ceasefire agreement in the Gaza Strip, the release of hostages, and also creating a pathway for security and stability in the region. Furthermore, the Israeli military on Monday said that it had killed 15 people that it deemed were terrorists and arrested 40 Palestinians during a major raid inside the Palestinian-occupied city in the West Bank of Jenin. Backed by Israeli bulldozers and warplanes, the Israeli military launched what it describes as an iron wall operation in Jenin and also its adjacent refugee camp of the Palestinians. According to the Palestinian Health Ministry, the Israeli troops and illegal violent settlers killed more than 860 Palestinians in the West Bank since the start of the war in the Gaza Strip. while the Israeli officials say that 29 Israelis have been killed in the territory in the same period. Meanwhile, the occupied West Bank city of Tulkarm, an Israeli airstrike killed 2 Hamas fighters on Monday. The Palestinian news agency Wafa identified the 2 killed as Ramez Damiri and Ihab Abu Atwi. And according to the Israeli military, Abu Atwi was the Hamas chief in Tulkarm responsible for numerous armed attacks. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.